Good morning! Hey, man, you're charged up bunch. Anyway, we're excited to be here, and what a great country. You know, this week we got to see so much, and it's kind of, I guess it's looking back in our history as well. And I found out at one of the castles, you know, they got this computer thing that we're of nobility, but I guess they tell that to all the guys. Okay, and we're so excited to be here. To start off, I always like to introduce, you know, the person that said yes. You know how it is when every couple takes a look at the business? One says yes, the other one says, well, I don't know, or, you know, I don't believe in it. Well, I'm so glad I lost that argument. Because if I had won, our whole family would have lost. And I want to introduce you to the person that says yes, the person, my business partner, Shari, my wife.
Hello. We've had such an incredibly great time here in the UK. It's been quite an experience. As a matter of fact, I've now taken to waving kind of like this. And Alan was really getting worried with me in the hotel. I kept on talking in plural. We now like our tomatoes peeled, dear. You know, so he's really worried about me, so we'll have to go home soon so I can come back down to earth. And this is the rally portion of our speech. And Alan and I had met while working. I had just graduated from college as a nuclear medicine technologist. I know, great title, my parents liked it too. And Alan was a laboratory technologist. And we worked together, and I had met Alan about the time in my life when I really never thought I'd meet someone like him. He was so cute. I mean, you could see him now, he's adorable, but when I met him, he was so cute. He was the cutest thing in acid-eating blue jeans and a lab jacket. He could have had the initials AD, almost doctor, tattooed on his forehead. He was, you know, a breath of fresh air. He used to bebop down the hallway with his specimen tray. Everybody in the hospital knew how cute he was. They used to page him on the pager. Mr. P. Bear, Mr. Pooh Bear, please come back to the laboratory. Mr. Pooh Bear. So everyone knew how cute he was. But even though he was cute and I was so crazy over him, we were very timid. He didn't speak to many people. You know, I certainly didn't. And he always used to say that we used to treat people one foot in the grave, the other one on a banana peel. And to tell you just a little example of how timid we were, when our first holiday together, we had taken a drive up to Quebec, Canada, which is about 8 hours from us, maybe 10, who knows. And Alan had gotten his brand new Volare, which, if anybody knows anything about cars, at least American cars, that's a real rut car. And we thought that was such a great car because I had a Pinto. If anybody knows anything about a Pinto, it had a blown engine. Like, that's such a shock, a Pinto with a blown engine. If you don't know what a Pinto is, they created the Pinto so people with louders have status, have someone to look down on. So anyway, we drove all the way up to Quebec. We got up there, and we found out pretty quickly that no one would speak English to us unless we paid them. Of course, Alan ran out of small change very quickly, so we decided that he didn't want to be there anymore, real quick. And we decided to head back, but we still had 2 weeks left to our holiday. So we decided to take a trip down to D.C. They'd have to speak to us in English in D.C. We drove 15 hours from Quebec to Washington, D.C., got all the way there. We couldn't find a parking spot, so we came home. You know, we had a brand new car. We just couldn't park anywhere. So, as you can see, we were very timid and meek people. We just didn't push our way anywhere. When we first were contacted to see the plant, it was by Alan's friend from high school. Now, most new brides, I'm sure girls, you can bear me out on this one, Most new brides don't like their husband's former mates. They don't like them. They're old drinking buddies. And Alan's friend Mitch was weird. He really was strange. There was nothing that this man did not smoke. And unlike our president, he did inhale. And I won't get political. I remember going to Mitch's house. Alan had worked a double shift at the hospital. He was exhausted. We had gone to see the plan. We really thought we were going to see a catering business because we knew Mitch was a waiter. And Mitch had called Alan because he thought he had a social disease. And thought he could get a free test and some free penicillin. And we were taking business advice from this guy. We were really full of wisdom at the time. And the scary part is, what if we would have said no? What if we would have had status? What if I would have had status? I didn't like the guy, but Alan had done one thing. He had said, Mitch can turn anything into gold. I didn't know he meant Colombian gold, but See, I'm the type of person that if we're just going to look at something, if you don't want me to buy, you have to tell me in advance. Just don't go to sleep with me with the checkbook. It's dangerous. So I wrote the check, and the whole way home, Alan woke up towards the end of the plan. I said, don't worry about it, honey. You'll love it. It's great. It's fabulous. You'll love it. I was so excited about this business. I knew this was something Alan and I could do together. I could nag, Alan could do it. I knew he'd be brilliant. I was so excited. The whole way through, they were talking to me. Alan was snoring. They were talking to me. And they talked about everything that I wanted. My house, my future cars, my future kids. I was telling them that I wanted peach carpet in my bedroom, and Alan was snoring. He missed it. You see, these are all things that I knew that Alan wanted me to have. And there was no way he was taking it away from me. So the whole way home, he says, come on, hon, I don't think it'll work. And I said, it could work. And he says, but my Aunt Lena had done the business and it didn't work for her. Now, this is such credibility to me. Knowing that his Aunt Lena was married 3 times, Aunt Lena would try anything. No. So this didn't hold too much credibility for me. I just knew that this man had spoken about my dreams, and I was not about to let go so fast. So that's how we got started, me nagging. And our upline was, as I said, our sponsor had yep. We didn't start out with much, that's for sure. We really were 2 dumb kids that just had a dream, or at least one of us had enough of a dream to spark the other one. And then all of us, we got started showing the plan and got busy night after night after night. One thing that they had said to us, just do this 5 nights a week for 2 years. And that stuck in my head, 5 nights a week for 2 years. And you can have any lifestyle that you wanted. And that's what we clung on to when we first got started, 5 nights a week for 2 years. Alan used to say, 1 night for us, 1 night for the boss. One day for the boss, 1 night for us. 1 day for the boss, 1 night for us. And that's just what we started doing. Any day, if we worked, 1 night for us. Day for the boss, day for us, night for us. And when it became more fun to show the plan to a new couple than it became sitting home watching TV, then we knew that we were in this business for life. I tell you guys, It's pretty easy to get bored with TV here. You've only got 4 stations. We saw your new Sky TV. It's really something that you guys are certainly going to want to give up most of your evenings for. The other night on TV, they were playing the Harlem Globetrotters Meet Gilligan's Island. So, watch out, girls. Your husbands are going to want to sit home for that. And anyway, we started proceeding up the chart, 3%, 6%, 9%, up the chart. If the chart was larger, it would have taken us longer, because I thought we were supposed to be at a different level each month. And it took us a few months to go direct. And I remember when we had first hit 1,500, we had gone to Our Dream Night in Washington, D.C. Thank God there was indoor parking. And we were so naive. Bill Britt was the guest speaker that evening. And he was, a very strong, powerful speaker. And we had our whole group there. We had filled 2 rows. We were brand new 1,500s. Our whole group was there. You know how small we were. And I remember we were so excited. We were so excited. Brand new 1,500s. We got to go across stage, 15%ers. And Bill Britt is doing his speech, and he says, "And if anybody used to have a drinking problem, stand up." And our whole group stood up. And he continued on, and Alan's really getting excited. He's, really bubbling up here. "And if anybody," Bill Britt continued on, "if anybody used to take drugs, had a drug problem, stand up." Up line, down line, everyone stood up. And Alan was beaming. After all, our group was participating. They were getting into it. "And if anyone used to beat your wife, stand up." And there they were standing up. They were right there with him. And finally, the woman behind me taps me on the shoulder, and she says, "Honey, is this your group?" And Alan turns around. He's got a smile as wide as the Grand Canyon, and he said, "That's right. We sponsor our level and above." It's true. It's absolutely true. As you can see, we had a massive amount of growing to do. We've had to stretch so much and grow. Alan, when we first got started, I said that, he was not totally enthusiastic about the business. But I knew he would do anything to please me, but he did have a fear of anything. I'm going to start with Alan's fears because it's an easy one for me. He had a fear of everything. He had a fear of showing the plan. He had a fear of talking to people. He had a fear of the phone, the 100-pound telephone. I said he had a fear of showing the plan. It took him 2 months to start showing the plan. I wasn't much better. I really disliked people. We had a sponsor who smoked anything, a direct who was really nasty. He was not a nice person. We used to go around to our group and kind of like vaccinate them, just say, they would come up and say, "Phil insulted me," and we'd say, "Oh, good, now you're part of the club." He was really nasty. We had an upline diamond who, believe me, it was my perception, but I really believe this guy disliked Jews. So we really did not come in with a full, stacked deck in our favor. As I said, we didn't start out with much. We were 2 newlyweds. We had a 1-room apartment that was so small, you had to go outside to make up your mind. And we had poor money management skills. I mean, that's being kind. I don't know too many people who've been asked to leave a bank. I couldn't believe it. What do you mean we're out of money? I still have checks left. So if anybody is worse than us, it's amazing. It's impossible. But yet we were told 5 nights a week for 2 years, 5 nights a week for 2 years, and we clung on to that. We believe that. If you see anything here today, we are just products of a system that does work if you work it long enough. And we're just here because we had faith and we had belief that it would work for us. It took, as I said before, it took us 10 months to go direct. Alan always says 8. I'll tell you the truth. It took 10 months to go direct. He counts from when he started showing the plan. It took us 6 months after we went direct to go voting member, and 6 months later we were Pearl. 6 months after that we were Emerald. So it was about the time that we hit Emerald that our upline started disappearing. In a puff of smoke. No. And it was a mess, but we were pumping the pump so hard that we didn't even notice, hey guys, where are you? Where's my backup? Where are you? We didn't even notice it. It wasn't until our downline started telling us about our upline that we saw that it was really starting to get bad. It was sad. They borrowed money from our downline. It was a mess. Don't do that. Never loan your upline money. And we found ourselves in the position that we had to do it all. We had to book the opens, we had to find the speakers, we had to find the tape of the week, we had to do everything. It's not fun when you're put in that position. It's not that we didn't want to be the leaders of our group, but we had to be everything. And we found out really fast that this business was meant to be done not as a Lone Ranger, but as a posse. That's Western talk for all you alls. This is a group effort. There's no I in the word team. And we found that out really fast. If you want to name us, give us any name, we would call ourselves the Comeback Kids. We have built this Emerald pin. This is our 3rd time building Emerald. So if anybody really wants to do it our way, don't do what we did. It was about this time that I started to learn about that there better be someone bigger than up there, And I started to learn that there's power in prayer. And I started praying fiercely that we could use some help. And I figured out pretty quick that we better start looking to something. So I prayed for Alan for guidance and for leadership, and we were blessed with the best upline we ever could have gotten. We were blessed with Bill and Les O'Brien. They deserve it. It was Bill that took a broken down Emerald ship and turned it into what it is today. It's amazing what he's done for Alan, just giving us back our strength, our belief in ourselves. It's amazing what you could do as a team. And I had always felt, just point us in the right direction. We'll do the work, just point us. And that's what we needed an upline for. I used to get so upset when I used to hear speakers out there, just make a decision, just make a decision. Just make a decision and you'll be there. Has anybody else ever heard them say that? Make a decision. Well, I knew I had made a decision. I said, it's all your fault, Alan. Just make a decision. Has that made anybody else sick to listen to? Just make a decision. It's only decision away. Well, I finally figured out, you see the growth that goes on? I finally figured out that it's no one momentous decision. It's a lot of little decisions along the way. If anyone ever wanted to know what they were talking about when they say it's only a decision, it's not any one decision, it's a lot of little series of decisions. It's the day you stop putting a price on what you will do for success. It's the day that you will stop saying, well, I'll do this, but I won't do that, and I'll do this, but he really means that I should do that. You know, when you stop justifying and stop putting a price on things is when you really start to grow. When they used to ask that question, I used to say to myself, does anyone really have to decide to be a diamond? Does anyone really need that, you know, say, okay, I will be a diamond? It's not like that. It's a lot of little things. It's the growth process along the way that gets you on there. So if you see a diamond, they didn't just wish their way there. They really earned it. I have so much respect for diamonds. And I have learned to stretch in all facets of our life, not only business, but as a mother. I have learned to stretch so much.